Can you just start to get any team news for the game?
No, not particularly. Anything different from last week, I think. Off the top of my head, no one came off injured. We've had a couple of niggles in training, as you normally do when you're competing, but no, it's pretty much the similar squad.
What are you expecting from Livingston tomorrow?
Tough game. I think watched their last couple of fixtures and they work extremely hard. They've got some good talented players. It's always a difficult venue to go to and win. It's my first visit to the ground as an opposing manager, so looking forward to it. But we know from Livingston that they work extremely hard. They're always a team, and they try to win, just like us.
After that disappointment last weekend, you be keen to get that first league win of the season as well?
Yeah, we were keen last week. We'll be keen next week. We're always keen to win. There's no difference in our approach to games of football. We're always trying to compete to maximise the result from our performance. Hasn't happened for us in the last 3 games, but we know that there's signs of a team emerging. I'm excited about what this team can become, the potential it has, but we know we're early days in that process. But we're in the thick end of the action and trying to win games.
You talk about the signs the team's emerging. Right? Do you think that the first win could almost trigger that and set you on a run?
No, I don't think. For me, it's a process that you have to go through. I think anything that you want to build that's strong takes time. It's easy to get one result off the back of anything. The games are so tight, the margins are fine. You can win a game through luck, and stuff like that, but it doesn't bode well for the future through luck. It's about getting the right habits, the understanding how each of us plays, how we form a team from that quality, and looking to build a consistent team rather than one that's up and down. But we want to improve on our previous 3 results, but I do believe that we haven't been outplayed in any of those games. We've had the opportunity to win those games, but we haven't took those opportunities, so that's the target for us now.
Livingston haven't won either. Obviously you want to be looking up the table, not down. Are these the kind of games that you need to win? If that's the case, you want to be going up?
I'm not looking at the table at all, up or down. It's 2 games in. I think I've been in the game long enough to know that seasons are long, form comes and goes. Teams very rarely finish where they start, and so for me, my focus this week has been on how to improve on our recent performances to get the wins, and then concentrate on how we beat Livingston. The league table is very much in its infancy. We're just trying to get points on the tally and see where it is at the end of the season, not 2 games in.
You say it's the first time through to Livingston. What have people at the club or just anyone Scottish football told you about the stadium and pitch up and about it?
Yeah, no, look, they don't really. I haven't really gone around asking. I've been up here long enough now to have seen their games. So I have been there to watch a couple of games as well. Last season. So we played against Livingston here towards the end of the season, and they had a fantastic season themselves. Going close, and obviously finishing high up in the SBL. So we're aware of the challenge that we face, and I'm sure they're aware of the challenge that they face as well. But we have to compete against every team in the division, and there are no easy games at this level without a shadow of a doubt.
There's been quite a high turnover in the squad in terms of players this summer, and also players coming back like Liam. Do you feel with every game and every training session that they're gelling together a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't want to over-egg the scenario we've been through, but because it's been difficult, I'm sure, for a lot of managers. But without a shadow of a doubt, we've had a fragmented pre-season period together with the players. There's quite a few lads coming out to playing from a long time out, or not playing for their previous club, and that takes time to get them up to speed. And ideally, in a beautiful world, we'd have 6, 8, 10 friendlies for them to get up to speed before thrusting them into first team competitive action, but that's not the scenario, so we've had to throw them in straight away because we know they're good players, we know the performances will improve, but I still feel the performance that we've had in the last 3 games have been close to winning games. Like I say, I don't think we've been outplayed by either of the teams. So I'll look at the players, I'll look at what talent they have, I understand the process of getting to full fitness, and I'll be honest, I don't understand how you come back from a year out for injury, because it didn't happen to me as a player. I don't understand how you get back to full fitness after having COVID, because I've never had that. So there's loads of scenarios that my players are going through that I don't fully understand, but I have to give them the time and patience to overcome that and get up to their full potential, because I know there's lots of good players in that squad.
Still a couple of weeks left of the transfer window. I'm sure you're looking forward to stop being asked about it, but are you looking to add a couple of bodies?
Yes, not just bodies, good players. It's important. We're not just getting numbers. We want good quality. We want to try and improve the team and the squad. We have a couple of things sort of going on in the background, which we don't know whether we'll win those particular battles or not. But we've identified a couple of players that we feel can help us improve, and we'll keep trying till the last minute of the window. And I know when we get to that point and we go beyond the window, I think we'll have a good squad. Players will have more minutes under their belt, and we can look forward to the rest of the season. But I would say the squad that I have now, I'm happy with. I think there's some real good players in there. I'm excited by what they can become, and I love working with them. They're great lads to work with. Their approach to training has been exceptional, and I know they'll keep working hard to win those games.
So last press conference before Steve Clarke announces his Scotland squad, there's a lot of talk surrounding Liam Kelly. I think Steve's watched him in person recently.
Yeah.
I take it you'd back him to get that call.
Of course, yeah. But look, I understand the difficulty that Steve Clarke has. He has more than 23 or whatever the squad will be, good players available to pick from. I don't want to put any undue pressure on him. He knows his job, he knows his squad, he knows his players, and but certainly Liam Kelly has showed since my time coming in January that he's certainly capable of playing at a level. But we'll see what comes this week. Fingers crossed, because look, we speak to Liam a lot, and part of his sort of decision making about coming back to Scotland was to try and realise the ambition of being in that Scotland squad. So but if it doesn't happen this time, I know for a fact that he'll keep training and playing as well as he can, because he's a top professional, and we're delighted to have him with us.
Obviously you mentioned a fragmented pre-season, and Mark O'Hara was one example of that. I think I'm going to speak to him now. You'll be looking to get him a run of games, because he could be a key player for you if he gets those run of games. He's really quite hard under you.
Yeah, definitely. It's his time since I've come has been very difficult. He's missed games for various reasons, and but we know he's a talented player without a shadow of a doubt. But he has to earn that right to be in the team. It doesn't just come. You have to do it through your performance in training and how you approach everything. But he's a real good pro, really good player, and the more good players we have available, the better it is for us. And he's had a frustrating time. It's been frustrating for us as well, because we know he's a talented lad, and we only had him available for maybe 3 or 4 games from January onwards, and then obviously he's missed the majority of pre-season as well. So, but he's looked good in training, so it's great to have him back, because he's one of those energy givers. He's enthusiastic. He's always training at full pelt, and we've got a few boys like that, which we love having around.
Just to go back on transfers, I know you said a couple of weeks ago perhaps casting the net a bit further out for players rather than just the usual English and whatever else market down south. Does that become harder getting closer to the end of the window, just with all the different hoops you need to jump through to get players from abroad? Yeah,
well, that is part of the process. It's difficult. I think obviously when we brought Yohani in, it took a bit of a time to get him over the line. The deal was reasonably straightforward between ourselves and him, but all the regulations to get him into Scotland and playing were long and drawn out, and I've seen a couple of other clubs there going through the same process. So with the window, the deadline coming quickly, that sort of, if we're bringing a player in from there, it'll have to happen quite soon, because I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, you can sign right up to that, and then the process of getting them over the line can still carry on after window shuts, I presume. But yeah, it doesn't add to it because we were desperate to get working with him, and it just put his progress and back a couple of weeks. But he was patient, we were patient, and we got the right player in the end. But yeah, there's a lot of new rules coming into place, and with the change in society for everybody, football's no different, and it'll be more difficult without a shadow of a doubt going forward, signing players out with the UK. But it's something that all clubs will face, not just ourselves.
Just on Dean Cornelius as well, he obviously featured quite heavily for you in sort of Premier Sports Cup games.
Yep.
Say took a knee injury, is he still alright, or is he?
He's still with the medical team, but we saw him out running on the training ground 3 days ago. So he's making good progress. I thought he did really well in pre-season. I was really interested to see how he progressed, because I thought he was. He looked fit as anything. I thought he performed really well in the games, and then unfortunately he got injured in one of the games, and it set his progress back. And but he's a good young player, which we have high hopes for, and hopefully when he comes back to full fitness, he'll stay in the squad.